now that you have your recording done and you've uploaded to your SoundCloud account. Now, there's a couple of things that you can do prior to doing your podcast. You definitely want to put in some information about yourself, because if someone enjoys your podcast, they want to know more about you and how to reach you and whatever. You have to have a strategic plan of where you want them to go. Okay, so here we're on SoundCloud right now. The next thing you're going to do, um, you have your profile, and this is our profile here. You want to go and click on these three dots, one, two, three, and go down to settings. In the settings, you'll have your emails and your content. Now, if you look here, what SoundCloud has done is created an RSS feed for your content, your podcast. This is very important and essential for when you are taking your RSS feed and submitting them to iTunes and Google Play and TuneIn and uh, iHeartRadio and such. So what you want to do, number one, you want to highlight this and copy it because you're going to need it later on. You want to make sure all of these things are filled out. Specifically, you can leave these two alone. You have your email. You have the title of your feed, the category, anything with the red star is very important. And then you can have your author's name, the language. You want to make sure you have the language. If you have content that has explicit language in it, you do want to click on that. Down here, the upload defaults includes in the RSS feed. That means everything that you've uploaded will automatically go into this RSS feed. That's an automatic update. And if you want to create a commons license, non-commercial, whatever image you have for your information, it is a common number. So now what we want to do, so we've highlighted, we copied that. You want to then go into Google Play Music, and you can see the URL here, which is play.google.com/music/podcast/publish. We want to publish our RSS feed, and I'm going to show you briefly how to do that, and it is free. Giving us some time here, you want to read your terms and services. You want to click the accept the terms and services. Now, remember the RSS feed that we initially copied. You do want to put it here, and then you want to submit this RSS feed. Now, it's going to ask for the image that you have to be processed here. So what you want to do is you want to display the RSS feed here, which is here, the SoundCloud. You want to add the actual image here, and it'll tell you processing podcast image. To process, please refresh in a few minutes. So it's basically trying to verify that you have an image. We've done that. All of the information is here. It's ready for review. And what you want to do, this podcast is ready to submit. After it's approved, it will be available in Google Store. It is that easy. So you just publish podcast, and now it's processing, listening to the material, going through everything, and you should receive an email once you log into your Gmail Google account. If you don't have one, you can sign up for one on here. It's pretty easy. If you want to add a new podcast, you can here. New podcast, and you would just put in a new podcast. You're not relegated to just one. So the next step, I want to do iTunes. So if I don't know anyone who doesn't have iTunes on their computer. Of course, I'm using a Mac, a PC. You can download iTunes, log in with your credentials, or create one. So I'm going to pull up my iTunes app, and I then want to go down here to where it says music. You want to go over to store music, and I want to click on this arrow down to podcast. Do you see that? Podcast. And you can see, if you look, podcast quick links, send a gift, account support, submit a podcast. And you just click on that. And as you can see, we have 2 already active. If you're doing a new one, you would just simply click on this plus sign and put in the URL that you collected from your SoundCloud. You put it in there and you follow the steps and you submit. You want to do this on a business day, because if you do it early enough, they will submit it for review, and you can probably have your podcast up and ready to go within that day or the next business day. So the next thing we really want to take a look at is now TuneIn. TuneIn is right here. It's similar to the same thing that you have here. You follow the information and guidelines here. Your email address, so we're going to put in our 8x10 designs at gmail.com address. The podcasting title, 8x10 designs, and the host name is 8x10 designs. Even though I am Duchess Robinson, so we will have a Duchess Robinson feed eventually. That URL, that feed, our XML RSS feed. So we want to copy and paste that feed that we received from SoundCloud. We want to choose our logo. So we have a lot here. So I'm going to go into my 8x10 design podcast. We pre-created that. And I'm going to upload that. And if you have a banner image, you can probably just create one. I usually and generally always have some sort of a banner created, and they want to know what country you're from, so it'll have the appropriate information in we're English, United States English, and here we are right here. The web address, of course, I'm going to put www.8x10designs.com. Genre, I'm going to say business, and I'm going to say internet marketing. And the station's email address, and I'm going to go ahead and put the 8x10 designs. I'm going to keep it uniform at gmail.com, even though we have various email. The phone number, well, I'm going to put in the phone number. The Twitter account, it's pretty easy, www.twitter.com/8x10 designs. Of course, follow us. And any comment, if I have any, I accept the terms of the agreement, submit. Now, it'll let you know, the TuneIn Help Center, once you have created that information, anything that you record and on our record prior to our first step, anything that you do on there will automatically go to your SoundCloud account. And once, let's go back to our profile. Anything that goes on this account and uploads here will automatically transition over to your iTunes, your TuneIn, and your Google Play. Now, we have not gotten to the actual iHeartRadio. There is a fee with that. You can literally just Google submit podcast to iHeartRadio, and it'll tell you what you have to do. You would have to get a Spreaker account, and on our next podcast, on our next we'll show you how to do that. Now, if we go back to our SoundCloud account, I want to give you briefly, they give you a certain amount of minutes for free. Now, if you really want to turn this podcast into something that you want to do every day and it's something for your ministry, I suggest that you go pro. Now, here's the button here, pro. And they give you two different things that you can do. The pro for $7 a month you can pay, or you can pay the $63 for the year. You double your upload count and you get the statistics, including by who's playing it. So you really get to see who's really listening. You'll get the statistics from that all over, who's spotlighting that. So that's always good. Then you have the Pro Unlimited, uploads without limits. That means you have as much time as possible to upload. See the web pages and apps your tracks are being played. That is essential because now you can see who's really listening to it for your marketing purposes. Now, you can do $1.99 a month for SoundCloud Go, normally at $9, but this is all included in this $15 a month or $135 a year. If we click on that, now you can really see that you can, just for $15 a month, you can either collect, you put in all your information, your name, your company, your address, all of this information. Then you can select your payment method, if it's PayPal or is it a credit card or debit card. Then you can put in your payment options here. You can do $15 a month, or you can elect to do the $135 a year. I would suggest, if you can, do the $135 a year, because it will take away a few dollars off of it, and you're ready to go, and you don't have to worry about it. So for 12 months, you're really good to go with having a podcast. Now, the next segment will talk about how to place these features on your website and having a website podcast. So, thank you again. This is Duchess Robinson, 8x10 Designs.